I'm sitting with Michael Cheatham, the president and founder of Inspired Solutions and Associates. Mike, can you begin by telling us about ISA?
Yes, thank you. First of all, Inspired Solutions and Associates is a group of dedicated professionals who deliver performance-enhancing solutions for organizations and individuals alike through strategic business consulting, professional development programs, training workshops, seminars, and much more. At Inspired Solutions, no one considers what we do as a job or a career. For each of us, this is our calling. And as such, we share a common belief that in order to best serve our clients, our business partners, our communities, and most importantly, each other, we have to set ourselves apart and do much more than motivate. We have to inspire. We have a basic or simple mantra, and that is, we believe that motivation has to come from within an individual. However, the inspiration has to come from us.
Thank you, Mike. This gives us a general idea of what services ISA offers, but let's speak specifically about how ISA can inspire attendees of SHRM on a topic such as the life cycle of an employee and making an impact every step along the way.
Okay, first I think it's really important that I point out that with every endeavor that we undertake, our team challenges to ask, how is this task typically done? How can it be done to a greater effect? How can we deviate from what is expected? And most importantly, what can we do that will set us apart from the competition? Now, having said that, I want to stress that our team is very diverse in both our experiences and our backgrounds. Including myself, my experience and background is quite diverse. However, the foundation of my background and my experience is that I'm a professionally trained salesperson. And I really wholeheartedly believe that everyone is a salesperson as well. Now, it doesn't matter that if by profession your title is accountant, human resources professional, or teacher. You sell every day. When you interview for a job, when you request a raise, or even when you ask for another person's hand in marriage, you are selling the one product that no one knows better than you, and that product is you. Now, I will go on to say that, in a business environment or a sales environment, competition is extremely fierce. And having the best marketing department or the newest product is simply not good enough. Neither is having the best looking resume when applying for a job or wearing an expensive suit or an outfit when trying to close a deal. Now sure, I'll be the first to admit that packaging is an integral part of the sale, but no one should ever lose sight of other aspects of the process. Now, an example of what I'm talking about is that there's no sales adage that says, friends do business with friends. And one established relationship can open doors that allows you to sell your idea, your thought, or your product. And in this case, your company. Now, most importantly, when all things are equal, and even when they're not, many buyers or consumers or applicants will tell you that the determining factor in their decision to buy wasn't the product, wasn't the service, it wasn't the job description, it was simply the relationship they had with the individual that they were introduced at the onset of the process. Or more importantly, how they set themselves apart in the first place.
Can you give an example on how this sales technique has worked for you in the past?
I can give you a very specific example, especially as it relates in the human resources field. Now, many years ago, I was one of many applicants for the job of Director of Sales Recruitment for North America. Now, there are a lot of applicants for this job, and I was told that I was going to get a courtesy interview, that I wasn't qualified for the job. But when I went in and met with the Senior Vice President and the Vice President, they asked me what I brought to the table. And I said, let me explain to you one thing. And this is interesting because many years ago, my mother told me, Mama Cheatham, she said, now when you go into a job interview, you have to go in there believing that you're the best candidate they've seen today. Because if you don't believe it, you'll never convince them that you are. And I've never forgotten that lesson. And when I went in there, I had to believe that I was the best candidate they've seen, even though I knew that my human resources partners or friends were far more qualified for this position than I was. So what I did was, I thought, how is this task typically done? And how can I do it to a greater effect? How can I deviate from what is expected? And how can I set myself apart? Now, when they asked me what I was going to bring to the table, I said, listen, here's the deal. We've been going out all this time and we've been doing it this way. Now, if I were chosen to take this position on, I would look at it from a totally different perspective. Now, in the past, for example, when we were going on campus for that portion of our recruiting, we went on campus and we opened up interviews and we interviewed and we went back and we were just, it was a haphazard approach. However, I took a different approach. For example, the first year we went on one campus, we had 7 applicants. 1 year later, we had over 100 people on a wait list. The first year when I first started the job, we had 15 people in our sales trainee program with an over 30% departure in the first year in positions. So needless to say, 15 people were not going to fill that void. Within the first year, we increased that number by over 800%. And how did we do this? We took a sales approach. And we decided we wanted to make it so that people wanted to work for us more than we wanted to hire them. We implemented a marketing strategy, a sales strategy, and we increased our exposure and our relationship, and we got to know people. And that was our way of spinning it, so we deviated from what was expected. How we went about our recruiting efforts, how we went about our interview process, changed the forefront, and we went from here to here. So what I'm saying is it was all about the relationship between the people and myself. Let me conclude by saying this simply, that I can guarantee you one thing, and that is, should SHRM elect to bring us on, Inspired Solutions and our team, I will guarantee you 4 things from the onset. We will ask you, how is this task typically done? We will challenge you to ask you, how can it be done to a greater effect? We'll then ask you, how will you deviate from what is expected? And we will definitely teach you how to set yourselves apart and gain a higher level of success than you've ever achieved in the past. With that, my name is Michael Cheatham. I'm President and Founder of Inspired Solutions and Associate, and I look forward to working with SHRM in the very near future. Thank you for your time.